Okay.
Okay. What about like I know you were like the movement because whenever I was what's her name the sharpshooter girl Caitlyn
Mm-hmm.
or and like you had this like technique like you knew her range. Like I
Um.
feel like that's on
So
like
you,
I feel like that's a later on kind of thing to learn.
yeah, if you ever press like A, you can see the attack range of your abilities. So everybody has. I'll go into like my own little custom or whatever, so I can show you guys. So everybody has like ranges, obviously.
Okay.
Training grounds. Boom. I'll even pick Caitlyn for you. Do I have her? I don't care about her runes. So we'll click. What is this? Cool, cool, cool. You was some tanky boys. I'm still on there. Y'all saw it said no type of chance. That sword was itty bitty.
Here's the thing, like, it didn't seem like I was doing that much damage, like, just watching just to hit the little minions dudes. Like, it didn't seem like there was that much that was being um, accomplished, to be honest. But then at the end, it's like once you hit like the ultimate and everything, then I watched that health go.
Yeah. You guys, so when I was beating you towards, I guess, the end or what, or like in the beginning, it's because I had a lead. It had nothing. I mean, there was other stuff too, but the big takeaway was I had item advantage, or yeah, item advantage, level advantage, and I'm ahead. So it looks like, man, Yasuo's a strong champion. Yeah, he's fucking 5 levels higher than you and has 2 items. What the hell are you supposed to do? You're sharing experience, but once we're all caught up, it's a 2v1, and both your champions counter my dude. And granted,
Right.
we built the way to really counter Yasuo, so it was like,
Yeah,
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 hell
yeah.
no, he not winning.
Right.
So you see how I press A? This is a Caitlyn's attack range. I have it more muscle memory, so I'm not like perfect, and I can't see this obviously, but this is the
Right.
attack range. Then when I hover over, we'll take this ability. No. So when I do this, it shows the range of her Q. If I do cast press spell, press another spell. Oh, quick cast with indicator. Cool. So when I press Q, it'll show the indicator of Caitlyn. I don't have this like this. For me, whenever I press Q, it just goes through. So you're like,
Mm.
okay, cool. So we'll do like cooldowns. So when I click, it just immediately goes on. That's what I was doing with Brand. Like it's just W. So I guess I could show you what she
Oh,
does.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't get the indicator,
Because
but the
okay,
reason why you're doing this is because you guys don't know the ranges. So you might as
gotcha.
well.
Yeah, and so I'm having to like select to look, whereas you're just
Yeah, I just throw it
hitting
out.
buttons because yeah, 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 yeah.
So we're gonna put this here. No, what are you doing, minions? We're gonna get rid of minions. Okay, so for Caitlyn, when I was telling you what you're trying to do, let's get another level up. No. Another advanced tip I can give you guys before people get off is you don't have to. You notice I don't ever level up by going down here and clicking like you guys probably do.
Yeah.
It's an advanced tip, but whenever you level up, you can control A, W, E, or R, and it'll level it up. So, like, you see how my cursor's over here,
Yeah.
and my
Oh,
Q
you just
goes
hit
up?
first, and then whatever button you want to do, and then that will
Yep.
level it up for you. You don't have to drag your mouse down there and waste.
And that is that like a keybind thing?
It's just in game. So control. You can change it if you want to, like the shift, but I don't. So these are the traps that you put on. For Caitlyn, she gets that headshot ability, so it does more damage. You have your Q, and then you auto attack space. And if you're worried about, because there's like a auto attack resetter, IA. So that's kind of how I know my ranges. So I'm spacing between you and keeping the line pretty much here, so I know. And that's all I'm doing. And if you get close with Caitlyn, you E, which gives me the headshot passive. And then if we're over here in Africa, and I'm like, oh, okay, because she's a sniper. Yep.
When you because I like whenever I was using that ultimate, it's like you already were putting the shield out, and I was in a bush. Like, how can you see my thing?
Well, it's because when you lock onto somebody, you don't see that big ass line.
Okay, I didn't know if that was just a me thing or if that was like a everyone can see that.
Yeah, no, you're aiming onto me, so I
Okay,
just
because I
naturally
was
know.
like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, Pantheon, which is somebody that I play in lower elos because he just smashes people. Like he smashes folk. And he's a champion that's trying to get ahead. Well, he's already strong early. Um, I'll go to Pantheon. He's stupid. Might as well give you that insight. He's not stupid if you know what you're doing. So I start Pantheon. Where's he at? These are runes, but we'll talk about that a different day.
Sure. Yeah, I think definitely it's going to take a little while before before we can get to really any legitimate deep dive into stuff. Just because it's like
Oh
It's so
yeah,
much to take in.
there's
it
so
is.
much information. Holy shit!
No, it is. It is. I was like, hopefully you guys understand the Mordekaiser Darius stuff, and you understand various items that I said, like Thornmail. You remember that? That's huge.
I
I
feel
So,
was
like
like,
my Discord profile picture right now. The Patrick.
so Pantheon's R is not really that useful, especially you never really saw me use it. That's the reason behind why. It's only good for engaging, we'll say. So, if you look at Pantheon, his the bottom bar, you see how it's red?
mm-hmm.
That means
Yeah.
all my abilities are empowered. That's what hurts. So when I bam, that hurt. But right now it's not like that. You see how it's not there?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely seeing.
So I'm gonna auto attack and it gets it up. You see,
Oh, so auto attacking
and
raises
using
it.
spells does it, and then it gets like empowered. So
Oh,
you
okay,
see how it
okay.
comes back?
Yeah. So if you use like spells and stuff before, so do some auto attacks real quick, and then now do one of the spells. Okay.
Now I have
Okay.
it.
So any of them will get it up
Yeah.
to empowered, and then after that, then it's no matter what you do, or is it just R that you can use
It
the?
all my abilities. So you see how it changes down here? It's all empowered, and it doesn't matter how many times I auto attack. If I use a spell, then it'll go away. So bam, that's what I'm hitting you guys with, which hurts.
Mm,
So for Pantheon, all he does is he stuns. That's the stun. You see it because of the little thing. You Q, and then anytime you're in a bad situation, you just E. And he takes no damage from. No, we want this. When he does this, he only takes stuff behind him. So if it was like this, you could hit me if you were the dummy.
yeah.
So whenever Chris would use like his ultimate as Caitlyn, it's easy because you know.
Yeah.
And I jabble it. Like most Pantheons and lower elos, they'll just throw it, and it's like no, because then well, I'll show you. When you throw it, it goes on cooldown. That's 10 seconds, right? You're like okay, but see if I launch it at you, we'll get rid of it. That's a 4 second cooldown. So he just spamming this. He just Q
Oh, so it's
W.
a lunge instead of a throw.
Yeah, and he gets it back. He just constantly does it.
Mm.
Then his ultimate surprises people if you don't know it, but essentially he presses R and he'll charge it up, and then voila. And then when he ults, he gets
Oh
his bar
my
back.
gosh.
Yeah,
That's
Mm.
broken.
but this
Yeah,
is
that's
one champion.
170-second cooldown. That's disgusting.
Oh, it's up there. So essentially, if I'm playing top lane as Pantheon, 'cause Pantheon's a top laner. I mean, I guess he can jungle, but that's troll. We'll teleport to Curse. I don't have any items. So you're fighting, blah blah blah. Remember, there's 5 people. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, because ADC and support, and then the jungler, right? Let's say my.
And so jungle is just basically somebody who kind of just travels in between and kind of just sits there and helps other people.
Well, I can show it to you guys. So let's say this is the enemy, and this is my laner, and this is the enemy, and I'm like, okay, he won't expect it. So I go into the fog of war because you see how I can't see what's over here. I can't see,
Mhm.
and so the enemy laner would not know where I'm at either. Like if I place we'll put an enemy. So I clear dummies down. So I put this here. You see how he's in the bush? If I lead the bush, you can't see him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the same thing applies like over here. If I put this here and I walk over here, he can't see me, and I can't see him. So this is what wards are for, because you can see with them in the like. I can leave completely, and I can see this because he's on a ward. You see, so that's why that's important. So for the middle, let's say that that's my guy. Yay. And then this is the enemy team. If I walk into the fog of war, this guy over here cannot see me and see. Oh my goodness. For Pantheon, he thrives because he does a ton of damage. So you see how I can reach? So he over here fighting, he putting hands, and I'm gonna press R, and usually I ping it again. And it comes in, and you're just like, oh shit, now it's a 2v1. And you're like, oh shit, now he dies, and then we can push this turret for plates. That's what Pantheon does. And since he has this, he doesn't need TP. He takes like Ignite, which I didn't really show that on you. I didn't like show you guys what that does. It's like burns you, does true damage. It's dumb.
Now, when it comes to the turret, say you're the only one at the turret. Are you waiting for minions every single time? Or are you going to that turret?
If it's like this, I'm not touching this bad boy. No, because it's gonna hurt. It builds up over time. Once I get taking my stuff, so this hurts over time. You see how this really starts to?
Oh my god!
And it's because I don't have any armor. But if I go back to base and I like you guys know how you guys stacked armor against Yasuo.
Yeah.
I won't take as much, so I'll do. It'll go back up. Where's the gold? Here it is. I'll build like all armor. You guys had fucking Death Dance, Dead Man's Plate, Thorn Mill.
Oh, so this is another thing that I have a question about. Because you can sell stuff, does it make sense to buy stuff that's like more basic or whatever early on and then sell it like whenever you die? So like go back into the purchase menu.
Mm-hmm.
So like get some like epic or whatever's above that basic or whatever stuff. Does it make sense to sell like get some early stuff like early on and then sell that to get more stuff, or do you think just like nah, we going straight legendary?
So typically, I'll sell. I'll undo. You see how I get all the gold back because I undo it, not sell it. So typically, obviously, you don't have like 3,000. Like if you ever have $3,000 in your bank account in League of Legends, you're trolling. So I build Sheen because I told you it makes my abilities do more damage. That's what Pantheon likes, because you're like he does the little Q shit and then he autos you, but he doesn't really care much for that because his auto attack doesn't really do anything. So he would never build this. Pantheon builds like lethality items. Where is the lethality? He's like an assassin, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So where would it be? This Serrated Dirk is like the component that I start. And so whenever, let's say I have Serrated Dirk and I'm like, oh, I don't know what Serrated Dirk builds into, I can click this, and it builds into all these items right here.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I'm like, oh, I want to go Yumus. You see how Yumus requires this, but Serrated Dirk is in this, so I guess that's the same item. But this is different.
Mm-hmm.
But Serrated Dirk applies to all of this. So you're like, okay, cool. And obviously, as you guys play the game, you'll understand like what you're looking for. It just comes with muscle memory.
Okay, so then in that situation, you get the serrated thing, and then say you buy the thing that it builds up to.
Like this, per se.
Okay, so that does replace the thing at the bottom. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So like basically, you pick one of the components of it, and then once you get enough money, then you can build up into the actual build, and then purchase that, which will replace the components.
Yes.
Because it's a part. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I would build like Serrated Dirk. Oh no, we'll never want to. I go boots, and then like I'll back or whatever, and I'm like, okay, what is the enemy team playing? This is where you tab. AD. Okay, they're all AD. They fucked up. I'm building this because this is just natural armor. Like, why would I not build it? I outright counter the entire team. If, let's say, they have a ton of CC, so stuns, slows, knockups don't count, fears, because there's people here. Slow, stuns, taunts, fear, silence, blind, poly. I would pick Merc Treads because it reduces that. The tenacity is what I want. You're like, okay, cool. Or let's say that they're a hard AP team. You're like, damn, they got a lot of magic people on their team. I could build Merc Treads because it gets the magic resist. But I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
I would say, so like, you can get basic stuff. Or, wait, where's the, go back, can you scroll up to whatever's above basic?
Is it cheaper to do it that way?
What do you mean?
Like, because like whenever you were showing me, hey, just buy this vest and buy these pants, and then does that do the same as that one component?
It does different things. So like serrated dirt gives the 25 damage and the 10 lethality, but like when you look at bramble, the reason why I told you to buy the bramble over the thornmail is because thornmail does make you more tanky, gives you 350 health and 70 armor, and this only gives 30 armor. But the reason why you want this item is because it reduces healing. It says when struck by an attack, you deal magic damage, no one cares about that, to the attacker, and apply 40% grievous wounds. So when people build like Lifesteal, Riftmaker, what's it called, Bloodthirster, I'll show you the icons. So Riftmaker, this item that Mordekaiser builds, you see that 10% Omnivamp? You're reducing
Yeah.
that by 40% of whatever it's healing. Bloodthirster. Let me click that one. Yeah, Bloodthirster. So you see the 18% lifesteal? That's you're reducing that. So you're making it be where I don't sustain in the damage department. Like, okay, cool. What else can I tell you? Oh, the starting items are only good in the beginning. So whenever you do build, not tier, but these three, so like Doring's Blade, Doring's Shield, Call, or Doring's Ring, those items you will end up selling. You see how they don't turn into anything?
Oh, okay. Because I had that when I was using.
Brand in the beginning.
Yep, and I had that, and I didn't know how to sell it or anything, but I kept that as opposed
It's
to.
it's really nice because you know how I told you you have to last hit minions to get the gold from the minions.
Yeah.
If you look at the item, it says attacks deal an additional 5% physical damage to minions. So this helps you farm early. And if you ever don't have one of these items and you go out there and try to farm with no AD, you're gonna find out that sucks. Like
Yeah.
damn.
Okay.
So
And
that's
then,
why
so,
you
like,
build
with
it.
boots- Okay, so like with boots, like if you were just to type in at the top of the search, just boot.
Well, you always have boots right here, so you don't ever have to search. So
Oh,
these are your
okay.
consumables, and then these are your boots. And so the standard boots, like I'll undo my stuff again. I'm like, I want boots, cool.
And
And
boots just help you move.
yes, it gives movement speed, and then you'll upgrade it eventually based off of what you want. Um,
So you should basically you should always start with boots. Like you should that's the first thing. One of the first things you should get is boots.
like if I started off as Pantheon, like a fresh lane, blah 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 Pantheon, because Pantheon's really mana hungry, because you saw that I spam a lot of the
Yeah.
Qs. I go Corrupting Potion, which gives me mana and stuff, which is nice. Then I go out there, I do my business. Oh, I got low, damn. Then I would buy like boots, and I'm looking for damage. So I'm like, okay, I want Serrated Dirk because Pantheon's a typical assassin in a way. So it does the 14 or whatever because it's saying that Longsword can build all these items. But I'm looking for a Serrated Dirt, cool. And I'm like, alright, I got this item. I go back to lane, you know. Bada bam, bada boom. It's time to back. We're back over here. Time to buy. Okay, what do I want? I have the Serrated Dirk. Obviously, you would have to look at these things.
Really go off of the suggested stuff.
Suggested gives a good idea, but it's pretty trash. Like, I think Pantheon builds this. Trinity Force is dog shit. You're like, why? Because Trinity Force gives you a lot of attack speed. So if you're trying to, like, swing at people, auto attack wise, like, Pantheon doesn't. I guess he auto attacks, but he doesn't auto attack like that. Like, this is not Pantheon's majority damage right here. He doesn't just do this. He's Q. That's an ability. So he doesn't really benefit off of Trinity Force like that. So attack speed on him is trash. So this doesn't know what it's talking about. Merc is not really the best. It depends on what they have. If they're all AD, you build Merc you're trolling. What does this do? Gain haste from your ultimate. So you're like, haste from your ultimate? Pantheon's ultimate is not the best. Like, yeah, you get to the fight, but it doesn't really... It's not life-threatening. Like, people aren't like, oh, shit, Pantheon ultimate. They're like, oh, shit, Pantheon's coming. He's gonna beat my ass. So this is dog shit. Absolutely not. Pantheon
So just
wants...
ignore recommended altogether.
Well, it gives a general understanding until you know the item. So you can look at it and be like, okay, Darius. I'll go to Darius. We'll see what he does. His Pantheons are trash. So, because recommend is not always bad, but sometimes it's horrible. You just gotta know what the champion does, which is why I was like, um, play one champion with a training. Play one champion and get a feel for. Maybe I'll pick Mordekaiser because that's who you was picking. Or actually, no, I'll show you Darius because you was not playing this right. Let me show you. This
You
dude,
have to learn today.
he big boy. He from the streets. Shoot, Darius. So you some Darius mechanics. I didn't want to play that against you because you would have been like, this dude don't take no damage and he does so much damage. Hell no. Is it going to show it? Cool, maybe? Okay. So Darius recommended. It says this is what you want to start. You're like, why is the difference? AD means that I'm going to go over there and beat your ass. That's why it gives the damage. And this one means I'm going to get harassed. So when I play Samira into Darius, you want Enduring Shield because you regen. You're not really hitting me like that. So that's how you assess it based off of this. This is not that bad. We get more gold. You see how it tells you Stride Breaker, Trinity Force, and then this
Yeah.
item. This item, it's like a secondary that you would build. Trinity Force is nice because it gives the auto attacks, which helps you get your passive. So we'll click this. We want to make sure we get our boots. Reversing Samira, right? So we want this because she's an AD champion. We're going to remove the minions. Spawn enemy. So I'm Darius. I'm level 1. We're going to up my levels. We're going to go to 6. What you level up first is important with Darius. So his Q is very important. And his E, you say, why, Caleb? Because you see the passive. He gains
Why,
20%
Caleb?
armor pit. And that's strong. The
Yeah.
W is okay. It slows, but who cares? So I'm playing Darius. I'm auto-attacking. And I Q. You see how I always... Hell no. When you see how I always put the Q on the outskirts, I'm not like this. Because you see how you don't get the passive? You always want to do the outskirts. Because 1.
Oh, okay.
Two.
That makes so much sense.
You're like, okay, let me...
Wait, where is that happening? Where's the?
So you see Darius, he's axe. You want to hit where the blade is because it puts that passive, which is this circle thing around the dummy.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
you see how he gets the 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is marked. So whenever I press R, it's gonna do a ton of damage. But if it doesn't have the passive,
Gosh.
if the passive's not on it, when I press R, so it tells you the damage. So if I just press R, it just did 163. That's nothing.
That's a waste of an ult.
Yeah, but if I boom 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I press R, 500 plus whatever the bleed's doing, that hurts. 801.
Oh.
So when you're playing Darius and you're like, oh, Darius is an all-in champion, so you know he press Ghost, he coming at somebody. 1, 2, he does this. He tries to position himself. He E's. I'm not the best with Darius, and then you ult. That's all you do with Darius.
Okay. That makes so much more sense.
And I'm pretty quick with it. Like, you don't gotta, like, wait for him to finish the animation and be like, okay, R. Nah.
Would you suggest us maining a character first and then, like,
Yeah.
getting to know them and then switching to someone else instead of, like, you know... I mean, obviously, we got a feel for what other characters do.
I want you guys to find the champion that you like. I showed you, like, different champions that I find to be very cool. Like, obviously, I like the really flashy guys and stuff. I didn't play any of, like, the big mains. Maybe Pantheon's, like, one of the people that I main. But I didn't pick, like, Gwen or stuff like that. She's annoying. Fiora, Camille. We didn't see any of them. You know. That hurt feelings. They be insulting and stuff. But, like, when you go to champions... For the beginner levels, I'm pretty sure you guys will like Darius, Mordekaiser. Garen's kind of cheap. I'll show you guys him. I don't know if you're still here. Garen's dumb. Actually, I think I could just show you what he does instead of going to the customs. Let me see. Yeah, here, Garen. Do they have it? Yeah, here's its abilities. So his Q, silence. W, he's tanky for no reason. His E is this stupid blade storm crap, and then his ultimate is a point and click execute,
Mhm.
and then his passive is he just regens health because he's not in combat. So he's simplistic as fuck.
Damn. He
You're
looks
like,
boring
damn,
as hell.
he is boring as hell. But then for Brand, which you played, he's a lot more difficult. So you do your passive, which is Blaze, and that's that dot that it stuns because, which you saw a lot of it, and then E spreads your stuff. Does it show it again?
Okay, so the passive, obviously the passive, I'm not doing anything with that. That's just something that I can develop or that I can upgrade to.
Every time you hit an ability, your passive goes off.
Gotcha.
So you want to hit people twice. So essentially, you W E spread, and that's how you get your passive. Q's the hardest to land. So if
Yes,
you hit someone with a
that's
Q,
correct.
you're like, okay, but Q is nice because if you W Q, then that means that they're stunned. Or EQ, RQ, whatever Q, anything Q, it stuns. But if you're trying to get the passive off, you W Q E because it guarantees the stun and that little circle underneath you, which is. He's gonna do it again. Okay, yeah, this passive, this circle, and it hurts, it burns.
Yeah.
And since Brand's all about his passive, you want to make sure that they burn. So his items are going to be burn based.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty sure Brand does some type of form of true damage. So if you try to build like MR, he just shreds through it. But yeah. Well, let me see. You played Caitlyn, not skins. I didn't show you guys Akali. Hell no. I didn't really play any assassins because no. This dude's kind of dumb. I saw Chris play like a bunch of supports. He's a scarecrow. He fears people. He drains people's lives. He silences them. Oh, he puts up pink wards in the bush, and they're supposed to like terrify you. Good Fiddlesticks, you don't really know which one is which, but yeah. And then for his R, he does this crap. And if you can't see him, like let's say he was standing in that bush and he did it, everybody would be feared. Yeah. So you need vision, lots of vision, to know where Fiddlesticks is.
Oh.
There's a lot going on at once because you gotta worry about the turret, you gotta worry about what minions are doing, you gotta worry about if people are in bushes, you gotta worry about what attack that they're doing, you gotta worry about the attack that you're doing.
And also aiming.
And aiming.
This is true. That's why you play champions that don't gotta worry about aim.